Today, I am checking out this portable AC unit from BougeRV. This thing I'm excited about because you can see I'm in here in my garage. I do woodworking in here, it's my shop. I'm also in Texas, it gets hot during the summer. And then the third thing is I'm in a rental, so I'm not really wanting to put holes in any of the walls or the garage door or pay for a permanent installation in a house that I don't own. Enter the BougeRV. Now, the way this works is it's portable. This is it. This is the air conditioning unit. It has exhaust on this end, and this is where the cold air comes out of, and it has intake on both sides. It's 3,500 BTUs of chilly cold air. What comes in the box is the unit itself. There is a remote control, a vent adapter, and some vent hose, along with the drain hose and a drain plug, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You have your user manual, your app control manual, so you can download and use an app with this. I've already done that. The app is pretty simple. It looks just like your remote control, except it's Bluetooth to the device. Let's turn it on and check it out. You get power to it any way that you plug in a regular 110, whether you're using a generator, a solar power bank, some of your vehicles now you can plug that into, especially some of these electric vehicles, and that's how you're going to power this unit. Now, let's talk about the accessories before we power this on. It has 5 different modes. It has a regular cooling mode, it has a fan mode, it has a dehumidifier mode, and night mode where it runs at a quieter rate for when you're sleeping, and a boost mode to where it's maxed out and putting out as much cold air as it possibly can. So for the accessories, you have this vent attachment, which of course your vent hose connects to. What you're going to use this for is dependent on how you're using the AC unit. If you're using it inside of somewhere, you want to vent the hot air out, which is going to come out of the back here. So you're going to take this attachment and you're going to put it on the back vents. Then you're going to take your hose. Now this hose, yeah, it stretches out pretty big. So you're going to take that hose and you're going to attach to this, and you're going to send that hot air out of wherever you are at. That might be inside of a tent, inside of a garage, inside of a room in your house. You can send this out your window. You just want to get the hot air out. You don't want to just circulate the hot air. The other thing you can do is if you don't want this inside of where you are at and you'd rather set it outside, say if you're in a tent, you really don't have room to set the unit inside your tent, you do the opposite. You hook the adapter up to your cold air vents, take your vent hose, put it on that adapter, and then you're going to send that into wherever you want your cold air to be, such as in your tent if you happen to be out tent camping. So those are great options for that. If you just want some cold air blowing on you while you're sitting outside, just position it to where the cold air vent's blowing at you, and it will blow the hot air away from you. So it acts like a fan sitting outside, except it's nice cold air, which is going to be great. I mean, I can already see what's going to happen with this. I'll tell you about that later. All right, this also has a dehumidifier mode. In that mode, it is going to be taking water out of the air. That water is going to need somewhere to go instead of collecting in this unit. It has a drain on the very back. That's what this little hose is. It's plugged right now on the drain outlet. If this is just sitting outside, you can just pull the plug out, say if it's on a picnic table or whatever, you just pull the plug out and it can drain right out of there. If you need to run it somewhere, so say you've got this set inside your tent or in your garage, hook your hose up and send that hose to where your water can go. And then it does have another additional plug that comes with it for the dehumidifier. Then the other modes are night mode, which it allows it to run at a quieter level for when you're sleeping. I'm assuming the air is not going to be quite as cold in that scenario because it's not running as loud, so it's not running with full power. Then you have the full power mode, which is indicated by a rocket on the control panel. All right, turn it on and see how well it does. So I'm just gonna push the power button. It's gonna turn on. This is your control panel. You have your power button. This selects between the different modes. Of course, this will increase or decrease the temperature. 61 is as low as it will go. This is a timer, so you can change the amount of time for it to run and automatically turn off. You have your fan speeds, which is fan 2, 3, and fan 1. These are your different modes. Up here you can see the snowflake, that is on AC mode. There's dehumidify. This is the sleep mode, which quiets it down. The boost mode, or the all-out mode, where it runs everything as strong as possible. And then this is fan only, so it's just blowing like a fan instead of cooling. Turns the compressor off. And that's your control panel here. The remote control has all the similar controls on it with your timer, fan speed, temp, cold, dry, your mode, your sleep, and your fan. And then the app looks just like this remote. We'll give it a minute to cool down and see what we got here. Let that compressor kick up and get to working. I'm gonna tell you that this level of sound is not any louder than what I would normally be sleeping with. So this is already as loud as a box fan or a pedestal fan that you might have in a room at night if you've got it turned all the way up. So I don't think you would have any problem sleeping with it turned all the way up. I know I wouldn't, especially if I'm tired enough. Yeah, so that's cold. That's super nice, cold air, blowing wherever you want it to. You can use this to direct the air or pump it into another part of your house or into a tent. It's got the hot air. Yeah, it's definitely hot coming out the back, so when it does the air exchange and all that sciencey stuff, you can Google that. But I can confirm this is cold air. That is pretty awesome. Well, that's pretty nice out here in the Texas heat, having something that's actually blowing cold air on you rather than having a pedestal or a box fan that's just pushing hot air around. It's pretty nice. I think it's still going to be better suited for camping, like in a tent or maybe a small RV, or maybe a small room in the house if you need something to cool down an area that's not normally cooled down. I think this thing's going to work great. But that's the BougeRV Portable Air Conditioner.